We were a few kids, and I suppose because it's fairly isolated, there's not the same activities you have near the cities. We were self-entertained, and my father didn't have many tools, so we had to improvise a lot of things. We had all this beautiful space, and so that's what was an inspiration to all the activities we had. Playing in the water holes, we could have been a kilometre away from the house here, and my parents wouldn't have known about it.
When we were very small and Dad and Mum were working the place, we would be taken out in the paddocks with them when they went out, you see, when she was here, and we'd be hung up in bassinets in the tree. So we'd be hung on a branch and to keep us away from, you know, the things on the ground and the ants and snakes and things like that. When my father and mother split up when I was 5 years old and Rowan was 3, Rowan and I stayed here with my father, and I think that was a fantastic solution. I love my mother and I love my father, but I loved being here. This is my lifeblood.
I rang him this morning. It was David.
Well, I've been right around that paddock and the next one as well, so I couldn't find any.
Little dog.
I think one off down.
You all tangled, you little rat.
We would most often go out in the paddocks with him when we were a little bit older, and we'd go out, you know, cutting wattles and so on. So we worked hard as kids. We were all worked really hard, but it was a fantastic life and a lot of freedom. A lot of freedom.
Right. I've worked a lot overseas for a long period of time, and I have a trade through my education here in Australia and then environmental work in Sweden. So with my father's ageing and my own children that we have in Sweden, they were of an age where they could travel here. So it was important for our children to travel here and see this side of the world and maybe introduce them to the possibility of living here. So we took a trip here probably 10 years ago to look at the place. And my father was over 70 at that stage, still working on the farm. And so he decided, or through a conversation at that time, he was ready to relinquish the farm. So 8 years ago, we came here and moved into this house with my family. We came here with the intention of doing a test run, so we had a 5-year contract, you might say, where we agreed to run the property and make improvements and learn to run the property as it was. When I was a child, of course, this property supported 3 families. So it was my grandfather lived down the hill in a house, my parents lived here, and then there was another cottage where the workers were employed on the property, also worked. And those things have changed enormously since then.
Well, I'm devastated about Rowan selling the property. I always knew it was on the cards. I mean, the thought of him selling the house that Dad built and that we grew up in, that's very hurtful too. He's divided because he loves this place and would love to be here. And sure, he'll say that it can't support them all.
Good boy. The facts are that there isn't the same income, the costs have increased. Those are the realities. We don't have any other resources to draw from, and despite the fact that we love the place and enjoy it so much, but it's probably not something you can afford to hold on to just for sentimental reasons.